So here are 9 books that'll help you guys take back control of your life in 2024. They're 9 books that I've read all in 2023, and they really shaped the trajectory of what I was trying to do in my life and in business. If you're new here, my name is Alfred Amaro, and welcome back to the Wave Gretzky Show. We're not going to edit this video. We're just going to let it run the whole way through. With that being said, I think let's just jump right into it. I categorized all 9 of these books into 4 categories: spirituality, self-help, obsession with greatness, and then finally, my favorite, business and finance. The first, if you are new here, consider subscribing and like the video as well. If you have any questions about anything, feel free to comment down below. I'm always replying. The Creative Act by Rick Rubin. I really enjoyed this book. I enjoyed it a lot just because I'm a big fan of Rick Rubin. He's a music producer. He's produced a lot of the greatest artists you know: Beastie Boys, Jay-Z, Kanye, all these other people. The thing that it really talks about is unlocking the creative kind of barriers that you have in your head and just letting things flow into a natural state. It's not so much trying to go out of your way and create the masterpiece, but just allowing yourself to make the best thing possible and letting the universe take it to what it should be. Some notes I have written here is that it's just about so you can position yourself in a very present moment. I've noticed this with a lot of people that we film. A lot of people just don't know what to shoot, or they don't know what they should be putting out into the world. I think it's just about doing something, and that way creating documentation. So that way it's your journey, and then you're kind of documenting things that you've done. If you haven't done anything yet, just go ahead and go do some things, so that way you have something to talk about. It's a great thing. It's a great book I can recommend to a lot of the people we do film with. I love it. My final takeaway on it was something that stuck with me is knowing your antennas and the specs of your antenna. Originality is dead, so just act on it. And that's pretty much it. I really live by the specs of the antenna thing every single day when I'm niching in my field. Number 2, we have Diary of CEO by Stephen Bartlett, The 33 Laws of Business and Life. Stephen is a British UK podcaster. He also owns like a multi-million-dollar media agency. And on top of that, all the people that he interviews for his podcast are just high producers and very big entrepreneurs that own big brands. Barbara from Shark Tank, the guy from Whoop. So he's burning through a lot of high-level people. The book is designed exactly like the 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene, in the sense of it shares the law, it gives an overview of it, it gives some real life examples, and then it kind of reiterates it back to you. I love this thing. A couple takeaways that I have from this book is you must piss people off, and the frame matters more than the picture. I could deep dive into what that means, but I think I highly recommend for anybody that's interested in it, that really wants like some short cliff notes of high level thoughts, definitely check it out. Number 3, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. This I read at the beginning of us creating this business 15 months ago. I really didn't have a good financial upbringing in the sense of like I didn't have a knowledge about like money or how to make it. And so this was like exactly what I needed to kind of see the trajectory of how you can attract it to you and how to think of money. I don't think I understood the concept of money before reading this. Some of my takeaways that I had from this book was the definitiveness. You have to be definitive in everything across the board. And that's what like I really took away from this book, was that it's not just about the money. Whatever you want in life, you just have to be definitive. And highly recommend for anybody that wants to, kind of grow like a business or increase your financial income. It really changed my perspective. It's a classic read. It's been around since the 1900s, and it just keeps getting revised with more modern day stories. Number 4, Good to Great by Jim Collins. Another business book. I love this one a lot. There were a lot of good analogies in this book. So Jim was kind of taking a look at all the top 15 or all the top companies that were profitable for a 15-year time period. He found the commonalities between them, and he was just thinking to himself, and he was trying to study with other people what were the factors that made them different. One of my biggest takeaways from Good to Great was the bus theory. So you need the right people on the bus, and you need the wrong people off the bus. Sometimes when you start growing, you hire very quickly, and you put the wrong people on the bus sometimes. It's very important to do things slow and steady, keep those people off the bus, But once you do have the right people on the bus, you need to have them in the right seats. Super huge. Number 5, we have 10x is easier than 2x by Dan Sullivan and Benjamin Hardy. This was recommended to me by a friend, Nicole McGrath. Love her to death. I appreciate her. This also changed the trajectory of our business here at Creative Department. It's not about doing double the amount of work sometimes. It's just doing the right things, doing the 20% in your business rather than the full 80, or rather than the other 80. Just focusing on the 20 of the most profitable things and the most things that make the most sense, and getting rid of all the noise. My biggest takeaway from 10x is easier than 2x is focusing and allocating the percentage of what I wanted to work on the business versus what I wanted to work in the business. Big difference. Working on the business would be something like us working on our funnel, us working on like the deliverables. Working in the business would be me behind the camera, me editing videos, etc. I think it's important because I was pretty lost, and I'd see it every single day in other people's businesses of how much time they're allocating to both. Usually they're allocating a large majority of their time to working in the business, it's just not ideal. You got to figure out and find the time where to work on the business. Number 6, Be Here Now by Ram Dass. This is a quick read. I love this book so much. Ram Dass is a man that studied a lot of Eastern spirituality. He was super big on meditation and relaxation and just kind of getting right with the mind. Some big takeaways here. It's like this was described as a manual of consciousness. I would agree with that. I definitely would. Being present, of course, but really just like surrendering to your life and to the flow of the universe. I really appreciated it. My biggest takeaway is very visual. I liked that if you actually go through it. And a fairly quick read. And then I think for myself, I had a lot of kind of visual awakenings. I had a lot of like third eye awakenings, I'd say, in the last like 6 years. So it's cool because I feel like just, this last year I was like starting to master the being present and like really just focusing in on myself. And yeah, I think it's a good deep dive into spirituality and yourself and just kind of going through the mind. Number 7, The Mamba Mentality by Kobe Bryant. I fucking love this book so much. Kobe, it's cool because Kobe actually had a big part to play with this book, and it's his book written by him, and this is the only kind of version we have of him before he passed. There are stories in here from his coach, from other players that met him on the field or on the court, and I had some really big takeaways here. This is like a guy that's obsessed with greatness, which I really appreciate because I would like to be on that same path. You're talking about a guy that was taking tap dancing lessons in the off season just so he can strengthen his ankles. Incredible. And then also too, like one big takeaway that I took was that he even read the ref manual in order to know where they would be on the court at all times. Like you're talking about a guy that literally knew the rules to the games he was playing so that way he can get away with stuff. I think it's just like the level of obsession. The common theme throughout this book is just how many times he was in the gym before everybody. He was finished with the workout before their workout started. And then also too, like just being there by the time the day ended. I love this book. Highly recommend. A lot of really cool photography in here as well. Number 8, David Goggins, Cant Hurt Me. Again, obsession with greatness. I think it's the same thing as like the Kobe book. A lot of people that have that callous of the mind, that's like the biggest takeaway I took from this. David shares like basically his upbringing, his story, how he became a Navy SEAL, abusive father, etc. But the callous on the mind was the biggest takeaway for myself. And it's not like when your body really gives up, it's just like conquering the mind, and that there's like really no such thing as balance. It's really very unbalanced. My friend Aaron has this quote. I'm going to butcher it here, but people seek balance their whole life and end up teetering like the scales. I think it's very true. Sometimes it's going to be super ugly, and it's just about embracing it and going after it and diving into it. You got to like talk to the dark side, get in tune with it, and make it your bitch. Number 9, and this is the final one. It's huge for me. Alex Hormozi, $100 million offers. Super, super huge. Alex kind of basically acquisition.com. I'm sure you guys probably know him already, but this really helped us craft our offer in our business. And actually, you could see it direct correlate to the top line revenue in the months where we kind of switched over a lot of the deliverables and focused in on like what our Grand Slam offer was. That's kind of the base of this book, of making an offer so good, making people feel stupid saying no. There's a lot of things I took away from this. I think the biggest kind of key points was premium pricing. And the quote that really stuck with me from this book was, we're not trying to get the most customers, we're trying to make the most money, which I would agree with. Yeah, it's been a crazy year for 2023. I'm super excited. That was our first 14 months in business. Incredible. We scaled it up to 6 figures, and I'm super proud of our team, Paul Kim behind the camera. And I think we just have a lot more to go. For myself personally, and like reading, I didn't really have a good relationship with reading before this year, which I'm kind of very shocked. I've read these like front to back. I've listened to a couple of them. But the fact of the matter is, like, I think now, if I were to like say anything going forward, it's just about doing. You can read as much as you want, but it's like, if you're not doing anything or putting it into action, like it really doesn't matter. And then for myself personally, I think going forward into 2024, I think I just want to read a lot of like fiction. I picked up Harry Potter right now. I'm just reading that and just kind of relaxing a little bit. After you get to a certain point, and I think this is the point I'm getting to, I'm just trying to find activities to where I can keep my mind focused on just being in the present moment. We took up some pottery classes, etc. We're getting way off topic, but yeah. Regardless, if you guys are new here, again, my name is Alfred Amaro. We own a media agency, creative department, dudethat'screative.com. If you guys want to check us out, if you guys are a service-based business and you want to do some filming with us, let us know. Thank you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.